Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay, super. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for the invitation to this platform. I'm beyond humbled for being here, really. And I also want to thank Willie Morris, because he's the first one to actually introduce me to this community. And I was so blown away when I first came to this community, just really blown away. I was already a big fan of the telomere science, and I was really, when I saw the first video, I was all over it. And to me, when I discovered this community, it just took things to that next level because, especially after last year, something happened in my family, luckily with the passing of my mom and all that. So I became a little bit more, let's say, obsessed with long life because it really hit me hard. So to me, the whole science of the telomeres, it just, besides the faith in God and knowing that God promises us long life, it was just so encouraging to see that we do have also tools with these products, that can really also sustain the body. So I was so blown away when I discovered the way you trained, and I even told you that you became like one of my new mentors. I just love the way you just week after week give this information, the way you teach, the way you just break it down. And to me, it became a new inspiration, a new passion. I feel like I'm back at school, but like, when we were younger, you go to school, you don't want to go to school. But this I enjoy, it's like a new school where you want to, go and listen and learn and just, let it come into you. So yes, I really want to thank you, Dave, really. I'm a big follower of what you do. And I'm just, every time I can, I'm always going to log into quietly and listen to you. So really, this community is blessed to have you because you've made all the money already, but you're just doing it out of passion, just out of, just like the gospel. You just want to, share and show people that there is a better way. And so I really want to thank you, really. And this community should really feel so blessed to have you and all these other leaders as well that I always see backing you up. So it's just amazing, really, because people need hope. And I feel that this is an amazing way to deliver hope with science to back it up. And it's just amazing. So I wanted to say that before I got started.
Well, thank you, PoPo. I appreciate that. And yeah, I really appreciate that. And the other leaders as well, I'm sure. And your humility, but also, your knowledge and your passion as well. You've added to that. Like, we're better because you're here, right?
Yeah, man. Well, we thank God for that. Yeah. So Zija came in. I mean, we got bought by Estrogenics, and of course, at first it was like you don't really know what's going to happen. Like, I had a huge organization in Africa. I had a big team in Asia with the Philippines, and then I lose all these markets, and now we have to start all over again. I still had markets in Europe and America, and that was it. So we started, didn't really know what to expect. But God just, had a bigger plan than what I thought, of course, and things just got better when we started in Isogenics coming from Zija. And I believe that it was an amazing acquisition that Isogenics did because Zija was a smaller boat with a Michael Jordan in it. It was a smaller team with a Michael Jordan, really. We had this moringa Michael Jordan type of a super, like one of the best thing ever, in nutrition, but still it was a smaller team. So Estrogenics came, and Estrogenics is like this huge team with all the infrastructure and everything that could take a Michael Jordan and then make it something bigger. That's really what happened, because as we came in, and when you're going to see what the Supermix and all these moringa products can do, you'll see that we do have now what I believe is the dream team. It's the dream team of all the dream teams, really, in terms of supplying the body what the body needs to self-correct. You cannot find anything. I know that there are many network marketing companies that do a good job, but I don't know if they have what we have. Really, it's just amazing. So I'm going to share some slides so you guys can see what this is all about. So there we go. All right, so I'll put this down here. All right, so this is when we started in Zija back in 2013. We also started in Zija coming from a shipwreck because the company where I was got shut down, and then the founder had a connection with Chris Estes, who's one of the top leaders now that came from Zija in isogenics. They were from Kentucky, and Paul Roberson, the founder of my first company, he was like the mentor of Chris Estes. And then through that connection, those who stayed loyal to our former founder, because a lot of people, just jump ship. Then we were offered Zija. So I remember going to Kentucky, there was a big Zija meeting, and that's when we started in 2013. So it was new to me because we came from technology and stuff like that. And now we were into, health. And we used to make fun of, juice companies and things like that back in the days. But I'm so happy I discovered this. So moringa is really what you can call life in a sachet. That's kind of really how we can summarize it, life in a sachet. So you can really start your cells, every morning on an empty stomach, and then you can have your breakfast 20 minutes later. So ideally, this would be something to introduce even before we do our shakes. So we would do like on an empty stomach, you would put the super mix in your body, and to start your body with all the nutrients and everything your body needs. And it's important to really do it at that time, because as per Dr. Joshua Plant, you don't want to mix it up because you want your body to really receive the full spectrum of what it is absorbing. So and then 20 minutes later, let's say you can do your shake and then do the whole isogenics routine as we know it. This is where the super mix would come in. So moringa, it's called the miracle tree. That's kind of how science has named it, the miracle tree. Some call it the tree of life, the tree of God, the tree of heaven. There's a country like in Ethiopia, in Africa, they call it Shefarao, which means that the tree that makes 1,000 diseases flee. So many nations will have their different denominations, I can say, if I can call it that way. So National Geographic came with an article in November 2012, and that's like the picture of the article, where they were talking about when you take dried moringa leaves, this is the nutritional value you get in it. So you get 46 antioxidants, 36 anti-inflammatories. And now on the right side of the picture, you can see the type of diseases that are from inflammation, from diabetes to neurological diseases, autoimmune disease, arthritis, pulmonary disease, Alzheimer or cardiovascular disease. It's all, and cancer, it's all from some sort of inflammation. And Dave, the way you explain it so well, when the foods are not real foods and it's anti-food, as you call it, of course, a whole bunch of stuff starts happening in the body, and inflammation is one of them. When the body gets toxic and in acidosis, definitely things start to go wrong. So moringa gives us 36 natural anti-inflammatories, all the omegas 3, 6, and 9, 20 amino acids, including the 9 essential amino acids our bodies can't produce. So we need to get them from an external source. And since the food chain does not offer these 9 essential amino acids, at least since maybe back in the 50s, we would find them in just the food chain. But nowadays, you don't find those 9 essential amino acids. And why are they so important? It's because when in the absence of one amino acid, our cells can't multiply and reproduce themselves correctly. So that's huge, even if you're missing one. And we have 9 essentials that we need to have every day. And moringa offers us all the 9 essential amino acids as well. So we have 20 amino acids and over 90 nutrients. Basically what we get here is 92 nutrients. And this is huge. Why? Because as the way you explained it, we need 90 plus nutrients every day to move from acidosis to homeostasis. So, and this is, a way to do it as well. I like how our shakes will provide us like close to 200 nutrients, as you say it. But this one here with the 90 plus with moringa, it also, it'll do the job. Even though it's not a meal replacement, it's a supplement, but still, in terms of the minerals and vitamins, you do get that. So that's huge just from that standpoint. And anybody who's knowledgeable in this field will know that, wow, this is just amazing to have it in one source. It's a tree that has different parts, and all of these parts play different roles. That's the same image, just from a different perspective for the National Geographic. So in terms of when you take dried moringa leaves, it's 7 times the vitamin C of oranges. This is huge, and I'll show you a little bit, something later on vitamin C, and you'll know why this is so huge. 25 times the iron of spinach. And this is also huge because I remember watching Food Matters, and I heard Dave talk about it, and then I researched it. I went on their website. I purchased the movie and a few of their movies. I'm like a member in that website, and I get their newsletters and all that just to learn. So they talk about how spinach is so important as well. 17 times calcium of milk, 15 times potassium of bananas, 10 times the vitamin A of carrots, 9 times the protein of a yogurt, and 15 times fiber of wheat. So this is definitely the most nutritious plant on earth. This is the most dense botanical, nutrient-dense botanical ever to be discovered. It's the biggest of the superfoods. At this point on earth, we haven't come across something that will offer a higher value than what moringa offers. Even in terms of ORAC value, this is the oxygen radiance absorption capacity test. It has the highest ORAC value as well. As you can see from there, they did a little bit of a comparison with other botanicals, and moringa is all fruits, but moringa hits, it has a high score right there. And even in terms of anti-aging, and this is so good because in this community, you guys are so knowledgeable about the anti-aging with the telomeres. But it's also good to see that moringa will also help in the anti-aging arena. Imagine that anti-aging is a team. We have a team called anti-aging. So the telomeres will do their part. You see, just like you have in a basketball team, offensive players and defensive players, and we have different roles in the team. So let's just say that it's a team called anti-aging, and so you will definitely have moringa there with the telomeres. They're on the same team. They play different roles, but they're on the same team. Same as we can also include collagen in the arena of anti-aging as well. It'll just have a different position in the team, but it's the same team. So moringa will do the same thing here. You see, like the moringa leaves contain several times, like thousands more, in terms of the zeatin. This is a nutrient called zeatin. So it has the value that it has in there. It's 1,000 times more than you could find in any other botanical. And zeatin has the ability to induce cell division and growth, and then delay cell aging as well. So these are just the little things, that I'm mentioning there, but there's so much more to it. So moringa leaves also, like I said earlier, it has 90 essential nutrients and 2 compounds that prevent cancer and reduce tumors. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. PubMed.gov is a good source of knowledge in terms of the moringa. And when we started in Zija back in the days, we used PubMed.gov, you're going to find hundreds and hundreds of pages on moringa and talking about all the benefits. So this is, of course, public knowledge. Everybody can go and research the National Library of Medicine of the United States, PubMed.gov, and you just type moringa in the search, and you'll find all kinds of different researches on what the moringa can do. And this is all scientific. Zija, actually, when we started back in the days, I did not start when the company started, but from the history of the company, it's a company that started back, I think, in 2005. And it was after this documentary that the founder of Zija back in those days, he'd seen the documentary on moringa on the Discovery Channel. And anybody can just type moringa Discovery Channel on YouTube, and you'll find that original documentary. That's the one that actually started the whole journey of us coming up with the product that the company came up with. It was from this documentary that, because when he saw that if this tree can save millions of lives, as per what they said in the documentary, then if we can figure out a way to put it into a product that can be consumable and also good in taste, because moringa in a raw state, you cannot even put it in your mouth. It's just horrible. And so they had to figure out a way to make it consumable and all that. And this is where Zija became the moringa company. The best ever to offer the best moringa product that you can find on the planet. Like there were even comparisons made with other moringa brands by Dr. Joshua Plant, because he actually came from Zija, for those who didn't know. And they couldn't even find the moringa's DNA signature in the other brands in the laboratory. So Zija was the only moringa brand that offered the full spectrum of the moringa tree. So in terms of, you'll hear a lot about how moringa will help the body with all kinds of different health issues and everything. But to understand why is that possible, I'll just show you a little something that I took from the Food Matters documentary. If vitamin E, because in the Food Matters documentary, what they're saying is that why can vitamins help the body really, heal itself or self-correct? And then how can, the reason why a vitamin can impact so many diseases positively is because the deficiency of one vitamin causes so many diseases, can cause many diseases. So which means that if you fix the deficiency, then the body now starts to heal. And like Hippocrates in ancient Greece, that's 400 BC, why he already understood that the body, can self-heal. He was convinced that the human body has a capacity to self-heal. It had an inner ability to heal itself. So the body is really the miracle. And now these nutrients are just, like you said so well, Dave, like softwares that give an instruction, and then the body knows what to do, and then it starts to heal itself. So when you take vitamin E, for example, it's good for heart disease, good for healing burns. It's good for epilepsy, for example. That's just vitamin E. If we go to vitamin C, it's an antitoxin, antihistamine, antiviral, glycemia regulation. So it helps with blood sugar, mood enhancer. And these are just to name a few. But then if a vitamin can do this, imagine now a botanical like moringa that offers you all these vitamins and minerals. So you understand why they say that it helps treat or prevent more than 300 diseases and health conditions. So optimal nutrition is tomorrow's medicine. This is as per Dr. Linus Pauling. And this is also something that I took from the Food Matters documentary. So this is the medicine of tomorrow. And I heard Dave say many times in his Zooms that this is the future. This is like the future of nutrition and all that. So this is really what it is. But again, these guys said it back in the days, but today we all know that the protocols of today, we went away from that. We went away from Hippocrates saying that may your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. Today, and they say that he's a father of modern medicine, but again, today, less than 6% of doctors are trained in nutrition. So it's so important for us to know that this is definitely an amazing solution. And it's not because modern medicine does not know much about it that we would believe less in it. So 60% of reasons why people die is coming from diseases related to how we eat, to the foods we eat. So this is huge. If 60% of all deaths will come from diseases caused by food, which means that we should all, sit down and think twice about what is going to our bodies, because it is causing more deaths than anything else. Now, in terms of how moringa helps the human body, according to the National Institute of Health and the US Library of Medicine, they told us back in the days that moringa could help treat or prevent more than 300 diseases and health conditions. Now, medical conditions. Now, again, we're not, just kind of put a quick disclaimer there. We're not claiming that, okay, this is like a medication, it'll treat or anything like that. And I know that this community understands it well, but for the guests that are here for the first time, it's not what we're doing. But again, we need to understand that the body is a real miracle. And when he receives the right instructions, the right softwares from the food, then everything starts to change. So a quick look on how moringa helps the human body self-correct. It'll help with weight management. It's also known as a natural anti-diabetic. So it'll help with blood sugar regulation. We have many people who got off of their medication just from drinking Supermix. and they don't need it anymore because they just went back to normal. Blood sugar regulation, cardiac and circulation stimulants as well. It'll help with cardiovascular health. Blood pressure regulation, same thing. Many testimonies of people that got off of their medication that they've been taking for years, just because everything got back to normal while they were taking, they started to take our super mix. It's a diuretic, it'll help with cholesterol, antibacterial. It's also antiviral, antifungal, and antibiotic as well. Just to mention that, it'll help with inflammation. It'll help with arthritis and joint pain, pain relief, allergies, cancer prevention, tumors as well. It'll help with skin. I know we have our collagen, but moringa also helps with skin in a different way. Of course, it'll help, it'll work differently than the collagen works, but definitely it helps there as well. Skin diseases, ulcers, in our stomach, malnutrition in general, even in countries, like Africa or parts of the world that are struggling economically. Moringa has been used to help the kids fighting off malnutrition because in many parts of the world, children are very vulnerable, and a lot of them before the age of 5 will die of malnutrition. So moringa, it's been something that's been helping as well in those areas. It'll help increase energy. And I remember from Dave's testimony, when he took it, he just felt so much better. And I know he'll be able to say a few words about it later on, that you will feel that, yes, your energy level, you'll know that your body is just operating at a different level. It's also used as a natural aphrodisiac. It'll help with libido. Libido is also something affecting more and more people all over the world just because of the food deficiency, the nutritional deficiency in the food. Fertility, we have lots of moringa baby stories, as we call them, where people couldn't conceive for many, many years and many, many doctor treatments, and they would start our supermix, and a few months later, they would get pregnant. Again, we're not saying that it's going to happen to everybody, but it's important to know that you can build a viable hope, knowing that if you do the right things, you're giving yourself a better chance at something good happening to you. Alzheimer's, spasms, lupus. I mean, the list is very, very long.
That's
as you can
a pretty
see.
exhaustive list.
I
just want to restate too for you. You already did, but again, we're not making any claims around curing any of these. These are what they found that specific nutrient has, scientifically shown to support the body to be, the miracle that it can be. Again, we're not making claims that this product is going to cure those things, right? And just make sure that we're disclaiming that very clearly here, because these are all listed diseases, right? And so just want to make sure that we're protecting ourselves, protecting the company, I'm protecting myself. But yeah, that's a pretty exhaustive list right there. And just to kind of like balance that out as far as, what we're sharing here, it's scientific information. Like the food pharmacy is all kinds of clinicals that have actually been proven to help certain ailments that people will have, but we can't make any claims around curing any illnesses or diseases with a specific product that has these ingredients in it. And so again, I just want to make sure that we clarify that to protect ourselves and the company, make sure that we're around for our kids, which is starting for me now. So, but yeah, this is a pretty exhaustive list, and we need to start wrapping it up here. I don't know how much longer you have to go, but this is incredible. And let's hear a shout out. I'm watching I'm finishing this as you're talking about it. Like I'm like getting it in. The more you're talking about it, I'm like, I need to finish that. And I just want to say that I did start doing this, and usually I start drinking it about 6:30 in the morning, and I absolutely do it before my shake. And it's exactly like you said. It took me through that threshold, my own ceiling, which has gone way up because of isogenics. Like I'm so happy where I'm at, like I have no complaints, but it actually took it through the ceiling, like Dr. Paul Arciero was talking about. And that's a pretty amazing thing considering how much isogenics I use, and it's part of my daily regimen on a very in-depth level, or the amount that I eat daily. And for this to do that and for me to notice it, that was a big deal for me, which is why we're here talking about it now, because of my own personal experience. But this is great, incredible information that you're sharing with us. So yeah, I don't, if you could start, I don't know how much more.
Maybe a couple of, 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, so let's go. So now, quickly the products. The one that you're going to hear the most talked about is Supermix. That's like, to me, it's the biggest nutritional product, natural health product ever to be put on the market. One of the best, definitely, that every home should have. Just like, to me, every home should have the telomere support with acidogenesis. Every home should also have this as well. Supermix. That's the biggest representative of the moringa tree, and it's 100% bioavailable, 100% bioactive. It's also enzymatically alive, meaning that all of the enzymes, as they are alive in the moringa tree, they are alive as well in the product. So this is huge, and it's all the moringa tree. So the leaves, the fruit, the seed cake, the seeds. I mean, the best parts of the moringa tree are in there. It's not the same as just buying moringa powder. This is really the whole tree. You're actually drinking a tree. Now, Smart Mix is a little different than Super Mix. It has twice less moringa, and it's also mixed with the chicory root to bring elements of prebiotic elements. This is for our gut health, and our gut health, our intestinal flora. That's our second brain, as it's called. So that's what Smart Mix will do. XM Plus, this one here is Moringa Extreme Energy. So it has the same as a Super Mix, plus ginseng, green tea, and natural caffeine to bring that extra boost for mental clarity, for energy, for all of that. And it's also recommended for 17 years and up. Super Mix you can give to babies. From 6 months and up, you can put it in a baby bottle and they can drink it. We've done it at my house with all of our babies. But the XM Plus is 17 plus because of the stimulant component to it. Premium tea, that's an amazing detox for your whole body, your kidneys, your liver, and the liver is so important that we detox our liver, because it processes so much. And even when people try to lose weight, the detox of the liver is so important. And I know that we are very advanced here because of the Cleanse for Life, but this also does tremendous work in different ways, that it will do the detox and cleansing and purification. And it's also a huge body regulator, the premium tea. So try it. It'll also make you'll know when you take it, because you will visit the washroom. But again, then it's set, it'll settle, at some point. Triotic, this one here is probiotic. So for those who really want a good gut health combination, you can think of Smart Mix and Triotic and put together, or Super Mix and Triotic. You can do that too. So this is probiotic and immune support. So that's kind of the products that we have. And why is it so unique? It's because of this formula here that Zija tapped into back then, the Z18. This is actually the metabolic trigger of the moringa itself. And it's those 5 elements that are actually producing the whole spectrum of the bioavailability and the fact that we're offering a product that is enzymatically alive. And actually the name Zija came from Z18, and Ija is from the original Hindu name of moringa. So actually Zija meant a moringa that is bioavailable, bioalive, and enzymatically alive. That's what it meant. So it's those 5 elements there that you can see in the image. I'm just going to speed up to end up right there. And this is also, I'm not going to spend time on this list, but just to show you how huge this is. This is the known chemical reactions of moringa and their functions. You see, you can see here different types of functions, like an anti-cancer function, but it also explains you why does it have an anti-cancer function. It's from the caffeic acid and the camphorol, the quercetin and vanillin. See, these are the elements that are responsible for that. So this is, just additional information for people who really are into the science and understanding how it works. They would really appreciate this. And testimonies now, again, it's not to make a claim, but again, a testimony is a testimony. And just from the body regulating itself, you can see here somebody with diabetic foot that would have been amputated. They started Supermix, and all of a sudden the body did its miracle and everything got reversed. And we have many of those testimonies. Same thing with pregnancies, for example, those who couldn't get pregnant. And we have a lot of these moringa baby stories just because of the nutrition of the body. And you can see there also Dr. Joshua Plant, that he also published something talking about how it was good for women to consider moringa, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding or all of that. So anyway, we have thousands of testimonies about how people could just testify of how their bodies were able to self-regulate and all that. So we can do different combinations. Again, like heart health, you can do a super mix, Empednox, C-Light, C2 Actives, for example. Your immune system in a combo, you can do super mix. Immune with zinc, C-Light, shake booster immune, for example. Basic startup would be like a super mix premium tea triotic. That would be like a good idea. And of course, you can also do an optimum health if you want super mix and then telomeres. That moringa and telomeres would be an amazing combo as well. I mean, the sky's the limit. We have so many different combinations based on people's needs, but that would be basically it for me today. Thank you so much, Dave, for the time that you gave me.
Thank you so much. I mean, let's give a shout out to PoPo, you guys in the chat box, and just incredible wealth of it. I love that stuff. And I'm already like formulating some little combinations that I'm going to make here. And I've been mixing the XM and the Super Mix all into one. They were both in here. And what I'm going to do now, based on what you just said, is I'll break it up. I'll do one in the morning and then one in the mid-afternoon.
Yes.
And I'm going to try that prebiotic as well. I know somebody asked about some gut health in there. So the more prebiotics we can get into our gut, the better. And somebody asked, where can they get the products? Isagenix acquired Zija, meaning they bought them, and they're part of our company now. And so you could get them right through the same website that you get the Isagenix products. They have it listed under Zija products. So it's still labeled, it looks separate in there, but it's all the same company now. It's all one. We've united. And like you said, it's just like, I like that analogy, kind of like when Michael Jordan was in college and then to NBA, right? He got into the NBA and that was a good analogy. You had some good analogies that you make, some good comparisons. I love it. Jojo or Lenny or Crystal, I don't know if you guys have any other questions you wanted to ask PoPo while we have him here. And again, I just really want to thank you for educating us and showing what we just had acquired. Like I hadn't had any training around that. And so I look at this as very valuable information. So again, thank you.
Anytime, sir, anytime.
Anybody else have was there any questions that we have?
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
I asked in the chat and I think I know the answer. So the super mix, which I have the smart mix. So now I'm buying the super mix because I thought I was buying the super mix. So the super mix, is that the XM plus? Is that the super mix just with energy?
XM plus, you can say it's super mix plus energy.
Okay, perfect. Now that we don't have e-shots available, I'm stocking up.
XM plus will definitely be you'll love it. Absolutely. If
I've had it in the past.
Yeah,
this replaced my e-shot in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay, incredible information, and I'm glad we had this recorded into the Facebook group. And stop the recording here now, and